Yo, yo, what up, you guys? MMA fans all across the world. It's your boy, MMA Blaze. I'm back. Um, First of all, let me apologize for the quality. You know what I'm saying? Like I always do. I know it's messed up right now, but it'll come together, you know what I'm saying? But really, I'm right here to talk about my UFC 123 post fight. Damn. Oh, man, oh, man. I know I'm late, but hey, look. At least I'm getting around to it. I had some things to take care of, man. You know, I'm late, man, but here goes, guys, man. I know y'all heard about all of this, but I want to give my opinion on what I thought the overall card was and what I thought about the co-main event and, of course, the main event. First, I'm gonna talk about BJ Penn and Matt Hughes. Um, well, actually, what happened is what I thought was gonna happen, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you something, man. I'm kind of sad for Matt Hughes. I can't lie. I haven't always been the biggest Matt Hughes fan. I've always liked Matt Hughes, but at times he was a little, back in the day to me, he did kind of, he was annoying, but I've never really had a big issue with Matt Hughes like some people have. You know, I've always thought that he was a nice guy. I just thought that he was very competitive, and he was a bit cocky, and it's okay, man. You're in a sport and you're competing, so it's all right. You know, he seems to be overall a very, very nice guy. You know what I'm saying? So much respect to Matt Hughes. But either way, if BJ Penn would have lost his fight, I would have been disappointed. And if Matt Hughes, whoever would have lost his fight at the end of the day, I just would have been disappointed. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, happy for that person getting that win. But that being said, I must say, I do believe that BJ Penn did need this win more so than Matt Hughes, because Matt Hughes was already coming in with a little bit of momentum on him, momentum. Even though, like I said, the the Ricardo Almeida fight to me was a little suspect. I'm sorry. It was just a little suspect to me. It didn't look like Ricardo Almeida really got hit with anything significant. It didn't look like it hurt it that bad. Like I say, could be wrong, but it just didn't. It was something weird about that fight, and it just kind of looked like Renzo Gracie was almost brought into the UFC just to lose, just to make Matt Hughes, look good. To me it almost looked like he threw the fight, but I don't know. And Matt Serra fight, I know a lot of people think that Matt Serra won that fight, but I believe Matt Hughes did do enough to edge out the decision against that. So that being said, like I say, Matt Hughes had some wins under his belt. BJ Penn had lost 2 straight in a row by the same guy. Then he's going up to another weight class. It just wouldn't look good. BJ Penn losing, getting his ass kicked by Frankie Edgar, then going up to another weight class, and then losing to a guy like Matt Hughes, who's not even really in his prime anymore. Thought to be by a lot of people, including myself. Even though I like the guy and I respect him, and he did great things for the sport, I just don't think Matt Hughes is going to really be the top contender. He just listen, man. I knew that BJ Penn was going to knock Matt Hughes out in this fight. I'm going to tell you why. Because in a Ricardo Almeida fight, Ricardo Almeida was barely throwing punches at Matt Hughes. Like, the punches that he threw, I kind of seen Matt Hughes kind of, like, he was kind of almost like he did the Cain Velasquez thing a little bit. Just kind of, like he was almost about to go unconscious, then snap back into reality. Just, and I'm like, man, and those are never really good signs of a guy having a good chin. To me, back in the day, Matt Hughes had a fairly good chin. You know what I'm saying? But now it comes to seeing that I don't know whether it's age. I really don't know. He's really not that old, but he is an older fighter, but he's not an old guy. But I don't know. It's like when these fighters get older, sometimes their chin leaves them, and kind of like Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes can't really take a punch anymore. And I don't know, man. I just knew this was going to happen just because, like I say, I seen Matt Hughes the way he responded to a couple of punches coming his way. You know, in the Ricardo Almeida fight. He just kind of, his chin looked a little wishy-washy, like it just wasn't there. But even though he did win the fight, he landed that shot and got the submission. I just knew that BJ Penn wasn't going to be taken down by Matt Hughes, because the second fight that BJ Penn had with Matt Hughes, basically, Matt Hughes. Okay, BJ Penn whooped Matt Hughes' ass, like I said in one of my other videos, in a prediction video. BJ Penn whooped Matt Hughes' ass for 2 whole rounds. I mean, beat his ass. And Matt Hughes, only thing he could do was struggle and struggle for takedowns that he was just unable to get. unsuccessful. And the only reason he even did get the takedown in the third round is because BJ Penn was exhausted. He was no more. You know, he didn't have not one drop left in his freaking gas tank. So, what do you think of BJ Penn? He's already been through the motions. He's always been, you know, right after that, you know, he's been through the things. Oh, BJ Penn knows what it feels like to be in shape now. Even though he got his ass kicked by Frankie Edgar, he was in shape. You see what I'm saying? And I just feel that in shape BJ Penn against a guy like Matt Hughes doesn't really match up well for a style like Matt Hughes, because BJ Penn's boxing is just so good. It's so great for MMA. And Matt Hughes, he doesn't really have good hands, not at all. You know, he has some decent wrestling. He used to be much better back in the day when he was the champion. He had great wrestling. And then to me, I haven't really seen him really wrestle anybody lately. His wrestling is mediocre to me. It's not top level. It's just my opinion. I'm sorry, but and I know you have to be a phenomenal, I mean, excellent wrestler in order to get BJ Penn down to the ground. And GSP is a great wrestler. Frankie Edgar is a good wrestler, you know, but, you know, like I said, that's another story. I'll get into that later. But like I said, listen, I knew that Matt Hughes wasn't going to be able to get this fight to the ground, so I said there's only one thing that can happen. Either Matt Hughes is going to get beat to death to a decision, or he's going to get knocked out. Now, I got to be honest with you. I didn't expect the fight to be over that fast. I thought it would at least go into the second round, but I did pick Matt Hughes to get TKO'd in this fight. You know, because BJ Penn was just so motivated from the two losses. BJ Penn kind of operates off guys counting him out. I don't know what it is. It's almost like BJ Penn, when he's reached his level, a certain level of success, it's almost like it's boring to him. So he needs to find another reason to fight again. He's almost like that guy. He wants to be doubted. You know what I'm saying? He has to feel like he has to prove somebody wrong in order to come out on top. And I can kind of relate to that, because I'm kind of the same way. And I'm not going to say it's a good way to be. I'm not going to say it's a bad way to be. But you shouldn't really have to have motivation to do something. And I'm kind of the same way, you know, when it comes to, like, competition. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I say, I'm in the, you know, that's another story. But look, BJ Penn did a great job. He came in. Well, let me just say this. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I know I've been hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, BJ Penn looks so great. He looks so phenomenal." Honestly, BJ Penn didn't have enough time to look great. You know, it was just that, like, he wasn't even expected to knock Matt Hughes out that fast himself. He knew he said it himself, but he did know that he was going to win the fight. Like I say, BJ Penn was very motivated. Matt Hughes was motivated, but it just doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? When you're going against a guy like BJ Penn, who has great boxing, very motivated, you know, it's only a couple of things that can happen. Either you're getting knocked out or you're getting submitted. Plain and simple. So they come into the ring. You know, I can't remember everything play by play. All I know is they come into the cage, the octagon. BJ Penn, Matt Hughes tries to throw a kick. It looks raggedy, like he pulled that kick out of the garbage can. All respect to him, but it was a terrible kick. He does his kind of hands in a way, doing this, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Then all of a sudden, BJ Penn throws a straight, catches him in the chin. Matt Hughes, you know, he instantly gets rocked. He falls to the ground. BJ Penn jumps on top of him, and he doesn't even really pound him out. He doesn't really beat his ass. He just kind of, you know, make sure just to put a question mark on the knockout. You know, just barely tapping on his face. You know what I mean? Like I say, it could have hurt it, but it wasn't nothing like just trying to cave his face in. You know, just trying to, you know, it wasn't anything like that. You know, he was just making sure the job was done. And like I said, I really can't tell that much off of that, but I will say BJ Penn does look to be more, you know, he doesn't look like a big fat tub of grease and a big slouch like the first time he fought Matt Hughes. I mean, the second time he fought Matt Hughes. When the first time he fought GSP, he didn't really look overweight. You know, and I do think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in his weight division. But like I say, man, I kind of feel bad for Matt Hughes. You know, hopefully he holds his head up, keeps his head up. But like I say, he got caught. He was never going to win this fight anyways, no matter what. It just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't his night. BJ Penn he was not going to be denied this night. Trust me, I know. Now, whether BJ Penn can keep that same motivation to go into the fight with other welterweights, I don't know. That's the question. We're going to see how he has to do against John Fitch. And I'm really excited to see that fight. I've been wanting to see that fight because if you ask me, John Fitch is just a lower brand of GSP. So I think that BJ Penn can take him, man. Honestly, I really think he does. But that's another fight. I want to get into this Machida Rampage controversial bullshit. All right. First of all, just let me say this. I'm a big fan of Machida. I'm a big fan of Rampage. I like them like what and what, you know. Like I say, neither one of them are my favorite fighters, but I do love to watch them fight. Very entertaining to me. Lyoto Machida is not a boring fighter to me, but I will say this. Lyoto Machida didn't really do much of anything in the first 2 rounds, and you people need to get this through your fucking heads. You cannot try to argue the fact of, oh, Machida kicked his ass. No. You know, Rampage is just that type of guy that's going to say somebody whooped his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he's going to say. You know, in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie. If you really want to ask me, this fight really could have been scored a draw. It was a very, very close fight. But just to say that Machida clearly won the fight, or to say Rampage clearly won the fight, you can't really say that. But this fight could have been scored a draw. But I can see why they gave it to Rampage, because Rampage was, you know, cutting off the octagon, pressuring him, constantly moving forward. He was the aggression, and yes, aggression is not everything, but when you're moving forward and you're swinging a guy trying to take his head off, and the other guy's doing nothing but backing up, you know, he's not really doing anything. And every now and then he throws a little bitty kick. You know, he doesn't really throw many punches. He just steady backing up and throwing some soft-ass kicks every now and then. And not even, let me tell you something. In all honesty, if you really want to, you know, my opinion, I don't really think this was the Lyoto Machida that we always, you know, used to see before the KO loss, before suffering the knockout to Shogun. You know, I think something has messed with this guy's mental. I don't know, but he'll get it together. But I got to tell you, man, if Rampage would have fought, I don't want to take anything away from Rampage because he did a lot better than I expected him to do. I didn't think he was going to win 1 round. So congratulations to him. My hat goes off to him, man. You did a great job. I didn't think you had it in you anymore, man. But I will tell you, man, if Rampage would have fought the same guy that fought Rashad Evans, when Machida was tearing through guys, when he beat up Sokachu, when he beat up Tito, when he beat the shit out of Thiago Silva, if Rampage would have faced that Lyoto Machida that night, Rampage would have lost. Period. He might have even got knocked out for the first time. Trust me, this was not the Lyoto Machida. He was something off. This guy wasn't confident. This guy was not. He wasn't doing anything, man. He wasn't throwing any strikes. Period, until the 3rd round. The 3rd round, he turned it up, but he was just a little too motherfucking late. And you guys just need to understand that. It's just plain and simple, man. You know what I'm saying? Rampage did a great job with, you know, continuing to press the action, cutting off the cage, following Lyoto around, not giving him room to do anything, really, to, you know, just stand on him. You know what I'm saying? And I can say, man, I'm very surprised at Rampage. He really tried this fight. I still think that Rampage does. He still needs to get, you know, better if he wants to compete with guys like Jon Jones and stuff like that, even though he's been in the sport way longer than Jon Jones. But I just think Jon Jones would absolutely demolish him. And that's my honest opinion. And that's just what it is. He won't win a show. If him and Shogun have a rematch, he will lose again. Perhaps another knockout or whatever, or just severely beaten. You know, I don't know, but you know, I seen something in Rampage that night, man. I seen a motivated Rampage. I seen a guy who really act like he gave it down, who tried, a guy who acted like he cares about his MMA future, you know, at least for right now. And I'm proud of him, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of that because for a while, man, I was just starting to hate Rampage. I was like, man, this guy sucks. He complains about other fighters being boring just because he's one-dimensional, just because he's not athletic, just because he can't do anything. I admit, you know what I'm saying, MMA does get very boring sometimes because these bitch-ass fighters want to come in and win all points all the time. I agree. But, you know what I'm saying, it is MMA, and there's other ways you can win the fight without striking all the damn time. So Rampage needs to get that through his fucking head, you know. But much respect to him and Machida. I think they both did a good job. In Rampage's book, he did a great job. Machida, if you ask me, he could have done a lot better than what he did. You know, 2nd round, he had a great flurry. Looked like he almost, man, look, I ain't gonna lie, man, he had Rampage hurt. I never really seen Rampage back up like that except when he got his ass whooped by Vanderlei Silva and Shogun, you know. But Machida was really whooping his ass for a split second there. Then Rampage comes back with some power shots, you know, kind of lets Machida know, hey, you better go on with that shit. So Machida takes him down, holds him down. Machida wins that round. But Rampage, you know, he does some things in that round as well, you know, in the beginning. But Machida did clearly win round 3. You know, if you ask me personally, round one was a closer. It was